Welcome to TalkersandGeeks.com. Justin here, and today we're going to be reviewing Dragon Ball The Breakers, which is available for your PC and consoles. As always, I give you a brief synopsis, and this was reviewed on my Nintendo Switch Lite, and the game captured was on my Nintendo Switch Lite. As always, I give you a brief synopsis, so here we go. Dragon Ball The Breakers is an online asymmetrical action game in which a team of 7 ordinary citizens try to survive the Raiders, a classic Dragon Ball rival such as Cell, Frieza, and Buu, who will hunt them down and evolve during the game into an unstoppable force. Escaping won't be so easy. And there's a little bit of a prologue here, which I believe it takes place in the Xenoverse of the Dragon Ball, and because we have Trunks talking about the time patrollers, and you're doing some duties for the time patrollers to try to get these villains back to where they were originally. Now let's talk a little bit about the gameplay here. As the synopsis stated, this is a online asymmetrical game for the price of $20, and I'll talk about that in my final thoughts. The idea here is that you have various areas. You have area B, C, D, and E. Each area has a particular key. You and other players are going to have to find these keys and activate a machine that Trunks has left for you. Once all the activations, all the keys are activated and the terminal is activated, this will send the Raider, aka the villain, back into its proper timeline. And that is the idea of the game. But you also have other things too, like you have a Dragon Radar, which will help you. Once you collect all 7 Dragon Balls, you'll be able to make a wish, such as increase your strength and get items and things of that nature. I would say that the difficulty comes into the play here is when I would recommend playing this game with friends. Because playing it with complete strangers, especially if you're playing it on the Nintendo Switch like I am, it's very hard because you do not have that communication effort. You have everybody looking out for themselves. Like, that's the one thing I would say my biggest gripe with the gameplay is that everybody's out for themselves in this. And when it comes to just getting items, like, you're racing. Not only are you just racing to find the keys, but you're racing to find items so you can survive. In order to survive, that we can get the most points, that we can get some more accessory skills, which I'll go detail later. But there's times that you'll go into a house and the box has already been raided, or the items are already gone because another player has it. So I would say recommend this, definitely playing it with friends. That way you guys can properly communicate and really coordinate how you want to tackle the game. But otherwise, I would say I did have a fun time. I've seen a lot of reviews. People were complaining about how uneven and unbalanced it is because of the villains and how strong they are compared to ordinary citizens. But when you really think about it, it's Dragon Ball. Of course, Cell and Frieza and Buu are going to dominate an ordinary civilian. So yes, they're going to be super powered, and I think that's the whole concept of the game, is finding ways to survive. And you can do that by using items to, like for instance, we have the Vegeta gloves that I'm wearing right now. If Cell comes near me, I could give him a Gallic Gun attack, and hopefully that will stun him. That way I can run away. The whole idea is to get those keys and hide and be under the radar. But after you play your matches, you have the Time Patroller Hub here, where you're able to customize your character, buy items in shops. Now, this is where the game gets a little bit of a microtransaction, because as you're playing the game, you have the TP points, Time Patroller points, where you're able to buy different skills, different upgrades, and things of that nature. Clothing. You can use your Zenny that you get from the game as well to get clothing. And they have different tasks. The way as you complete daily tasks, you'll get more money. So it's easier to get Zenny than it is to get TP points. TP points comes out sparsely. So they kind of encourage you to actually go, especially for me, I'm playing on the Nintendo Switch. They encourage you to go to the eShop and spend real money to get those points, depending on how well you want to make your character, how customized you want to make your character. And I kind of see why they did it, because the game is only $20. and I really recommend. I'll go more detailed about that in my final thoughts. But you have various skills that you can do. You have survival kits that you can do where you can put various accessories, various skills, and then to your liking. So you can have various attacks as you unlock. So if you want to have like the KO can like I have, you can put that in the skill set. If you want a Gallop gun attack, you can put that in the skill set. You have your emotes that you can use, that you can buy, that you can use to when you playing the game to taunt, or just people like emotes, you can do that. And one thing also, of course, you get to create your Dragon Ball civilian. And now for those who want a very detailed characterization, it's not as detailed as you're hoping it'll be. I honestly think Xenoverse was a little bit more detailed than this. This is a basic template of choosing a couple of hairstyles, changing your skin color, changing your preset body build, choosing your voice, and that's pretty much it. And then obviously, as you saw in previous clips, you get to choose your clothes, watches, accessories, sneakers, and things of that nature. But for the most part, it's a very generic character creation that you expect in a Dragon Ball game. You're not going to make somebody as detailed like something like in a WWE 2K or NBA 2K, or it's Dragon Ball. You're going to create yourself, or how would you look in the Dragon Ball universe, using preset templates of hairstyles, ears, eyes, and mouth, and body build shapes. That's pretty much it when it comes to that in terms of the gameplay aspect. But I will have to say that I did have no issues with frame rate, and I'm actually surprised because I played this on the Switch Lite. No hiccups, no rage quitting, nothing. It was actually a very smooth experience. I had great connection and no lagging whatsoever. And I will definitely have to say, hey, it's good on the Switch Lite. I had no issues with it on handheld mode as well. Worked very well at 30 FPS. Now let's talk a little bit about music and sound and graphics. Music-wise, I actually did like the music choices here that they did. They don't have the epic Dragon Ball anime type of style music that you're accustomed to in this. Instead, you get kind of this ambiance type of score, kind of horror type of soundtrack, which I thought fits very, very well for it because it sets the tone of this sense of dread and fear that you're like, oh my God, Frieza, Cell, and Boo are around. And that I thought worked very well for me. Graphically now, graphics, I would say it's not the best looking Dragon Ball game, but this is all the graphics that you're seeing here is Switch Lite, complete handheld mode. It's not the best looking Dragon Ball game, but it does this job. It does well. It keeps the tone of the show, keeps the tone of the manga, anime, whatever you want to, whatever medium you're thinking of Dragon Ball. It keeps the tone well. So my final thoughts, I'm gonna give this a solid C+. There's only 3 maps. There's only 3 villains at this time, and like I said, playing your enjoyment's gonna come mostly playing it with your friends, because especially if you're playing it on a Switch like me, because communicating with strangers and actually trying to coordinate and try to actually win the game, because people play selfishly. Everybody's going to go out for those items, and no one's really going to really look out for you. So you're basically on your own trying to beat this. So I highly recommend you playing this with friends. But reason why I'm giving it a C+ and not something lower is because it's $20. It's not a full price game. It's $20. You're getting a $20 game, a $20 Dragon Ball game, and I can't complain about that. This is Justin from OtakuGeeks.com saying, ladies, catch you on the next one. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Peace.